When you're beginning trading, you see the picture with the Ferrari and the Rolex watch and so forth. It's not about that.
Welcome back, everyone, to Be the Trader. Today I have a very special guest who's returning back with us, and we're doing a unique little twist of an episode, a quick burst of a certain topic. And today I brought back Scott. Actually, Scott has me here in his office, and so if you haven't seen his first episode, you need to go back and watch it so you can understand where he's coming from, what his story is, and you can really see why you need to pay attention to this man. Well, Scott, welcome back to the show, my man.
Great to be here.
Absolutely. So the topic I kind of want to start us off on is the idea on if for some reason, let's just say we just boom, snap my fingers, I'm a genie, you lost everything, right? You didn't lose everything in terms of you made it and then lost it. It's gone. And you start fresh. And you had to start trading today. What would your approach be to start as a trader? And if you can go into a little detail of how you would approach it, what you would do first versus second, I'd really appreciate that.
So that's a great question, and I've given that a lot of thought over the years. If I was starting over, what would I do differently? So as we mentioned before, I'm a mean reversion trader, so I'm always fighting the trend. I got really good at it, so I'm comfortable doing that. Regardless of market conditions, on a regular day, I don't really have much stress, so it fits my personality. If I was starting out today, and the one thing about mean reversion trading, I'd say that it's more of an art than a science. Whereas if you were going to take on a different discipline of, say, I'm going to be a small cap short seller, I would say that's even more of a science than it is an art. So if I were approaching it today, I don't think I would be, well, in fact, I'll share a story with you. So one of my sons wanted to get into trading, and wanted to get into trading because obviously, it can be a good lifestyle if you're successful. And everyone, said to me over the years, well, it'd be nice if your son got into trading. He could sit next to you and you could teach him how to do this. And I said to myself, I really don't want him to learn the way that I do. There's probably 5-10 different strategies out there that are really good, really proven, whether it's trend following, shorting small caps, position trading, long short. There's many different ways to skin the cat, and you've got to find the thing that really fits your personality. I like low volatility with a high win rate, and I'm willing to accept lower returns. I'd rather make $50,000, $50,000, $50,000 and make $150,000 than make 300, lose 200, make 300, lose 200, make 50. You end up with a bigger amount of money, but there's a lot of stress involved in having that type of volatility, where if that doesn't bother you, then that's the way to go. So you got to figure out, what your niche is. So I didn't want my son to learn the way that I do things. I want him to be exposed to, call it Baskin Robbins. If you come and train with me, I have vanilla ice cream. My vanilla ice cream is very good, but you're eating vanilla. If you go and take some time to search out, and you can just do this all on Twitter, go to Joseph Burns' website, read the 20 different things about trading, figure out which one, based on the amount of time that I have, based on the amount of money that I have, based on, what's going to fit your lifestyle and your personality, and figure out, what it's going to be. So that's like walking into Baskin Robbins and trying all 31 flavors and figure out which one works for you. I don't take overnights. Some people swing overnights, and that's their, how they flip that coin, and they're good at it, and the next day they come in and make a ton of money. When I take a stock overnight, I have dreams about the stock and I don't sleep. So I was like, that doesn't fit my personality.
Right.
So you got to find what fits your personality. And getting back to it, so my son decided to go into day trading, and he's working at at a prop firm getting a lot of different exposure. And they said to him, when you start, this is really going to be about 3 years before you're going to be able to make any money. And if you think about that for a second, to like all you new people out there, or you've been doing this for a year or two,
Right.
you're going to a prop firm that specializes in developing traders, and they're telling you that you're going to have 3 meetings a day, you're going to be around successful traders, you're going to be around people that are going to get fired too, but don't expect anything real to happen for 3 years. So that's a professional firm telling you that, and that's if you're smart and you have the aptitude and you work hard, and there's no guarantee that it's going to work. So they're telling you it's literally 3 years, and you've got to keep that in mind as you start your journey, as you go through your journey.
Right.
It's, if you have very quick success, it's not. It's called luck, and it'll run out. You have to, figure out that process that fits your your personality.
Hey, we wouldn't be able to do these face-to-face interviews if it wasn't for our sponsor, Cobra Trading. So if you can just give them a few seconds of your time, we'd really appreciate it. Cobra Trading is the go-to broker for day traders and short sellers. And I'm not the only one saying this. In fact, Benzinga awarded Cobra Trading as the go-to broker for short selling. They have a heavy focus on direct market access order routing, so you have the fastest execution. They have some of the best locate prices and availability. They also have amazing customer service. I've experienced many different brokers, and it's why I use them every single day and why I'm proud to have them as our sponsor. Sign up now by clicking the Be the Trader referral link below and earn 1 free month of software with Cobra and 25% off all commissions. Now let's get back to the show. I like that you said, like, try different things right away. Like, don't just try one thing and just stick to that, because what if it doesn't vibe with you? What if it doesn't fit your personality? And how you suggest to your son just to try, go here, learn all these different ways or see what fits with you. And then the fact that they are saying this is going to take at least 3 years. So they're giving you the right perspective, right? And they're not rushing things. Because a lot of us, including me, I jumped into trading because I wanted to make money and I wanted to make it fast. And then I think that's what made it longer for me.
Like that's the kiss of death, and that's, when you're beginning trading, you see the picture with the Ferrari and the Rolex watch and so forth. It's not about that. If you make enough money to be able to buy those things, by the time you do, you won't even care about them. You jump in and you want to make money, but this is a job where if you get good, you'll make 6 figures, and if you get really good, maybe you'll make $500,000 a year. If you become a master, you'll become a 7-figure trader. Maybe you'll get to 5 million, 10 million. Got to be the right market conditions. When you enter an arena the game is hard, because jobs that pay minimum wage are kind of like the easy jobs. They pay minimum wage for a reason, not knocking it, but those are jobs that anybody can do. This is not a job that anybody can do, and the financial rewards are massive, but you have to be able to perform, and you have to have skills, and a lot of it's counterintuitive, and you have to retrain your brain, and it's hard, and it takes time to do that. So it's a multiple year process, and the people that come in right away, with the misunderstanding, you eventually learn that. It's just how quickly you learn it. You're either going to blow up your account, or you're going to say, well, gee, I just lost some money. And it's today, I go to work every day, and it's like, am I going to win or am I going to learn? Am I going to win or am I going to lose? When I lose, I really learn. So there are the days where you're going to learn, and if you don't want to adapt to the losing, there are rules that you need to follow to win in this game, and that requires admitting that you're wrong, being humble. If you can't do those things, just save your money and move on.
go into real quick just a little bit of those rules, because if you're starting over, you got to learn a couple of things, see what works for you, see what vibes with you. Understand this is a journey; it takes time. And then there's some rules that you mentioned that you might want to learn or make sure that you know as you get started. What are some of those rules?
So it's different really for every. I guess they're more of concepts. Like
Okay.
everybody is going to face that big loss, or you're going to be in that position where you have a big loss and you know you should be getting out of the trade. Do you have the? You need to get out of a trade, and if you don't get out of the trade, there's an 80% chance that you're going to be saved, and you're going to make all your money back, and you're going to say, oh, thank God I won't do it again. And I was right. I knew I was right. I knew I was right. When you are down a certain amount of money in a trade and you've risked a certain amount of money, you have to get out. If you're a rule breaker and you don't honor your stops, again, 80% of the time you're going to get bailed out, but the other time you're not going to. And
Right.
then that stock is going to go lower, or if you're short, it's going to go higher. And you're going to say, well, I'm in a really bad position right here. And you're on tilt. Mentally, you're all fucked up at this point.
Right.
Because you're emotional. You're going to get even bigger in that trade. And that's how I'm going to get out of it. And 80% of that time, it's going to work.
Oh, no.
Then there's going to be the time where, all right, well, I've got rewarded for not honoring stop one. Stop two, I average. I'm just going to do that again. And then the next time you do this is the 5% of the time it doesn't work. And now you've got a triple position. You're emotionally a mess. You have no mental capital left. And that's the one where it's going to, God knows, the trading gods know how vulnerable you are, and they're going to screw you.
Yep.
And they're going to halt the stock up, or it's going to keep going down with no bounce, and you're going to blow your account up.
Yep.
So that's an example of a rule. If you have a stop loss, you know what? You decided what it was. Plan your trade your plan, and stick to it. If you don't have the balls, if you don't have the courage, then this isn't for you. You were wrong, and you want to make a lot of money, be wrong quick, be wrong fast, be wrong small. That's, just an example, but that's the example that knocks people out of the game.
Right.
That's the number one example.
And
you're not immune to it.
Yeah, and I like that you said this. I think you might have said this behind the scenes right before we got started, and that was, this is a journey, right? Come at this with this journey. It's a journey that really, I think if you said it, and correct me, it's like it never really ends. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so like I've been trading, I was a broker for 8 years, and I've been trading, this is my 20th year. So if you're going to sit in a chair for 20 years, you want to have a really good chair, because you spend a lot of time there. And you want to have, a plan for a balanced life. I decided I know what I'm good at, and I know what I'm not good at, and I know I don't want to be a slave to the dollar, because I have the ability to go to work and make money, and the more that I work, the more I can make money. But I decided, you know what, I'm going to work 7 to 4. At 4 o'clock, I'm getting up every day. I'm a shitty after hours trader. I know that. Mean reversion doesn't work after hours. I found that out the expensive way. I don't do it. Deciding to leave at 4 o'clock every day, when my kids were growing up, it allowed me to be their coach. On the soccer field, on the flag football field, on the baseball field, on the basketball court. From age 4 to 14 for 10 years, I coached 3 times a year, my kids and other kids. And at home, I have like probably 20 plaques of teams I coached. And every once in a while, I pull them out. And I look at that, and I used to go to the mall, and someone would walk by me, they're like, hey, coach. That's time that I'll never get back. I'll always be able to make more money. If I didn't leave the office at 4 o'clock that day, I probably could have figured out how to trade after hours, make more money. You got to have balance. Those memories that I have of coaching my kids are priceless. to me. Going to the gym 3 times a week, keeping my brain healthy and my body healthy, spending a lot of time with my beautiful wife of 28 years, and caring to, her needs. My mother, so proud and have the money to do things to make her happy and go to nice family dinners and things like that. If you're there from 4 to 8 in the morning, which you can be, and you're giving up all those other things, take a step back, because there's nothing you can do with $10 million that you can't do with $5 million. And just don't be a dollar bill. Have balance in your life. Take care of your body, because it's a journey. And if the journey's not fun, and you get to the end and you're sick, you can't enjoy your money.
Yep.
And you want to have great experiences along the way. We go to concerts, we take lots of 3-4 day vacations and go do stuff. I can pick. Somehow I have the knack. DWAC, the SPAC that goes bananas. I was in a concert in Seattle while that was going on. I'm like, I just missed the second or third biggest trade of the year. But you know what? I come back, you make money, you got to have balance, you got to do things. Early on, work harder, but once you get to a place where, you're consistent, take the time off and start having the balance in the life.
Well, look, Scott, I appreciate you bringing a lot of this topics up. If you're listening to this, you need to rewind this episode, because he's giving you the way you need to be thinking before you actually start pulling that trigger, before you start taking trading seriously, because a lot of us, including me, I'm in the same boat as you. I went in with dollar bills in my eyes. That's why it's taken me so long just to even find consistency. And that being said, I don't want you to fall for the same thing, so make sure you listen to my man here. And again, Scott, thank you so much for joining us, my man.
It's been a pleasure.